Hey everybody, Emmett here. I've been in the investment industry for 10 years and recently decided to start my own company and create an LLC. And so the first step is a little nerve-wracking, right? You don't know how to really start an LLC. You think it's going to be this complex thing. You think it's like solving a Rubik's Cube and you realize, oh wait, there's actually, a relatively straightforward solution. If you're watching this, you've probably got a business idea in mind. So go ahead and get that LLC started and formed. You're going to realize it's pretty straightforward. So today we're going to walk through all those steps. But first, I want to talk about, the LLC versus an S Corp, what the advantages might be for an LLC, or at least for someone just starting their business. And then from there, we look at how to file your LLC, the different options, and some of the options out there for online services. And then we walk through step by step on how to do those through one of the online services. So the benefits of the LLC, why I ultimately decided to go with the LLC structure. So first, your business assets are going to be separate from your personal assets. So for any reason, if things go awry down the road, your personal assets will be completely separate from your business assets. The second reason, the LLC tends to have a lower upfront cost and ongoing cost versus the S Corp. And so for me, just starting out, I want to be spending as little as possible on the business. So the last one, I really like the flexibility of an LLC. So come tax season, you actually have the flexibility to file taxes as an S Corp. Now, before diving into the step-by-step process of creating an LLC, I at least wanted to talk about the other options you have available out there so you don't feel like you just need to follow, what I did. Option number one, self-filing without guidance. So this is essentially you doing all the paperwork and paying the filing fees to the state. Obviously, this is going to be very cost-effective. You have full control over the process. However, as you can imagine, this is going to be more time consuming. There's potential for errors. And at least in my case, I lack that legal expertise. You guys might be pros there and can get this done no problem. So in that case, it's researching your state's LLC formation requirements, obtaining and filling out the articles of organization, drafting an operating agreement if required, and then ultimately submitting the form and paying the filing fee to the states. Option number two, you can work with an accountant. The pros there is you get that expert advice, they're handling all the paperwork, they're ensuring compliance. However, that's most likely going to be the highest cost due to the professional fees there. And so from there, right, it's just consulting with a business attorney or an accountant, providing the necessary business details, and then the professional prepares and files those necessary documents for you. Option number three, and what ultimately I decided to go with and made the most sense for my situation, was online filing services. And so the benefits here, right, is it's convenient. You can just open your computer, ready to go. It's user-friendly and it's time efficient. Some of the cons might be, right, you have to obviously pay for costs for the service fees in addition to the state filing fee. And ultimately the steps there is, right, you choose a reputable online service. There's LegalZoom, InkFile, there's Zen Business, there's Taylor Brands. So you have some options out there. From there, it's providing the necessary information about your business. The service then handles the paperwork and submission to the state. All right, so yeah, I ultimately decided to go with Bizee.com for a number of reasons, and BizBuddy actually lays it out very well. You'll realize that a lot of the other online services, end up getting you involved in subscriptions. So over time, over a 5-year time period, you're actually spending like over $1,000 in additional fees. So let's go ahead and walk through the steps now on how to get the LLC started. Okay, first things first, head on over to Bizee.com, select LLC in the dropdown and the state you want to file in. So we've got a few packages here. We got the silver, the gold, the platinum. So for $200 plus the state filing fee, you're pretty much getting all the documents you need. Whereas the silver, you're only really getting your articles of organization. They're not helping with the EIN, the operating agreement, and the banking resolution. If you want to save some money, I would recommend going with the silver option. As you go through the steps, they're going to provide you the opportunity to buy a premium package for $100 where you're getting your EIN, your operating agreement, and your banking resolution. So you can see here that's 70, 40, 35 for $100. So if you want the core documents that you need to file your LLC, I'd recommend going with the silver package and then buying that $99 package as you go through the steps. So for this example, we'll walk through the silver and hopefully that'll answer any questions you might have. First step is creating your LLC name. All right, so how about Epic Waves Retailers? We're gonna be selling some surfboards. Is that a good name? Maybe not? Okay. Then choose the industry. From there, the management method, most folks will just choose this. I assume you, the business owner, founder, will be managing the LLC. All right, the state filing time. I would be cautious with this. I chose the 4-week filing time. I didn't have to spend a dime, and I got all my documents sent over, my business formed within a week. So I don't know if I got lucky, but I would just be cautious spending the $50 here. Next, put in your contact information. Next is the company address information. You have the option to put your own home address. Just know that it'll be available to the general public. So if you want to stay private, you have the option to create a virtual mailbox. Bizee has an option here for $29 a month. I think that's sort of on the expensive side. I ended up using Anytime Mailbox, and the virtual address is $12 a month. So saved a good couple $100 a year, trying to save money where I can as a new business owner. So here's that premium service package. As you can see, you're getting your EIN, your operating agreement, your banking resolution, and even throw in those contract templates, which might be useful for you. So if you'd like, go ahead and upgrade and bonus here. Next, select the number of members. After you put in that contact information, you'll then see you have a full year of registered agent service for free, which is pretty awesome. So a registered agent, what is it? This individual receives and forwards important legal and tax correspondence on behalf of the company. So you can either act as your own registered agent, or you can use this free service. I know the competitors are charging $100, $200+ for this. So a nice perk of choosing Bizee. So for the EIN tax identification number page, you're going to put in some personal information as well as your social security number. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next step. Bizee also gives you the option to set up a small business bank with Bank of America. I would recommend Mercury Bank if you're a small company. They've been great so far. So feel free to choose this option, yes or no. Next is the preferred method of delivery. You then have the opportunity to speak with a tax consultant if you'd like. It was about a half-hour call where they're talking about how your LLC is going to be taxed, commonly missed tax deductions, and a number of interesting topics that I thought was worthwhile. They then give you the option to sign up and subscribe to their services. I didn't want to do that. It's kind of expensive, but I thought the call was worthwhile. Okay, there are 2 licenses outstanding. I'll go ahead and work on that myself. So this might be your sales permit, your statement of information, and some other things you'll do after you receive your LLC. All right, then you review your order and submit payment, and you should be one step closer to starting your business. Okay, so you've filed your LLC, you've got your paperwork back. Make sure you don't forget these next steps, as this is crucial to make sure your business is running smoothly and you don't get caught with any sort of tax penalties you have to pay. So first up, you filed your LLC, you now need to file a statement of information. In California, this is required within 90 days of filing your articles of organization. You'll need to do this every 2 years to keep your information up to date. However, make sure to check your specific state's requirements, as these are going to vary. So each state has different rules. So while I'm talking about California, your state might have different filing deadlines, forms, and fees. So for example, California requires an annual minimum franchise tax of $800, which isn't fun. Hopefully you're in a state where you don't have to pay this much. Next is a potential sales permit. So if you plan to sell goods, you'll need a sales permit. In California, you get this from the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration, or the CDTFA. This allows you to collect sales taxes from your customers, which you then need to pay to the state. So be sure not to skip this step if you're selling products, because it's crucial for staying compliant. So if you follow these final steps, you should be business compliant and on the right track. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more tips on business, personal investing, and finance. We're going to continue to grow this channel, so your support is very much appreciated.